Chapter 18.
The smell of wood and boiled yarrow root filled my nose. My hands moved on their own, grinding comfrey, straining willow bark tea. Mrs. Poplin came and went with linens and worried glances, but the work was mine. This was my penance. He lay on the great bed, too pale against the dark furs. The healer had sewn him shut, but fever had him now, a fire eating him from the inside out. I wipe a cool cloth on his hand, up to his arm, my fingers brushing the stiff edge of his body. Even now, he was hiding his face. The door creaked. Gavrel stood there. He looked hollowed out, all his usual grim solidity gone to ash. I didn't look up at him. "How is he doing?" he asked, his voice strained. "He's fine, for now, just a little fever," I said, my voice sounding dry even to me. He didn't speak. He crossed the room and went down on his knee right in front of me, his head bowed. The sight was so wrong it made my breath catch. "I accused you of betrayal," he said, the words grating like stone on stone. "I laid hands on you. The fault was mine." He swallowed hard. He told me never to touch you. I didn't listen." I looked from his bowed head to Valerius's fever-flushed face. The kindness hurt more than a slap. "It's okay," I whispered. "You were protecting him." My forgiveness seemed to wound him. "I'm really sorry, my lady. It will never happen again." I nod, turning to him. "It's all right, Gavrel. I'm sure I would do the same if I were you, so you can stand." "Thank you, my lady," he said, standing and turning to leave. At the door, he stopped. He didn't look back. "All these years," he said, his voice so low I strained to hear. "Through every battle, every night, every scar they gave him, he waited. He held on to the memory of a little girl by a lake like it was a holy relic. I told him to let her go, but for him it was a promise. Then he was gone." The words didn't make sense at first. They just hung in the air, next to the scent of herbs and sickness. He waited, a little girl by a lake, a promise. My hands stilled on the mortar. The only sound was his ragged, struggling breath. The lake, he waited, the boy with the dark hair and light blue eyes, Valerius's eyes, the same. I'd told myself it was nothing, anyone can have blue eyes, but it was just a memory. But I was the spy. He said I didn't take anything. The documents, the trap. He knew. He had known I was Ronan's agent from the start. The truth was a cold fist closing around my heart. The honey cakes, the green room, the library, the way he'd stood for me at the ball. Was any of it real, or was it all a long, patient game, a strategy to turn me, to use me? Had every kindness been a move on a board I was too blind to see? The betrayal. This is my fault. The bandits, the wolves. This wasn't a border skirmish. This was an assassination. Ronan did this because I failed. Valerius was lying here because of me. I was the reason. The careful, clinical shell I'd built around myself shattered. I sank into the chair, my legs giving way. The tears came then, hot and silent, washing through the dirt on my face. I was drowning, and the only thing to hold on to was the man I was supposed to destroy. I reached out and took his hand. It was so big, so rough, burning up with fever. I laced my fingers with his and held on like he was the last solid thing in the world. "I'm so sorry," I choked out, the words scraping my throat raw. "This is all my fault. I was supposed to destroy you. I was so stupid, so blind. A sob broke from me. I pressed his knuckles to my cheek. Please, please wake up. You have to wake up so I can tell you, so I can beg your forgiveness. I looked at his still, masked face. And then I'll go, I vowed, my voice breaking. I don't deserve to stay by your anymore. I'll give Ronan what he wants. I'll find another way. Just, please, wake up. In the depths of his fever, he stirred. His fingers tightened weakly around mine. His head turned. A murmur escaped his lips. My name, Ilara. And then, softer, frayed with pain and memory. Little rabbit, safe. I froze. The world stopped turning. Little rabbit. The name he'd almost called me on the balcony.
Chapter 19.
Consciousness returned as a dull, throbbing ache. Dawn's gray light seeped through the window. I tried to move, and a sharp sting of pain lanced through my side, anchoring me to the bed. Alive. I managed to prop myself up on an elbow, gritting my teeth against the protest in my ribs. That's when I saw her, Ilara, asleep in the chair pulled up to my bedside, her head pillowed on her arms on the mattress. Her hair was a riot of red over the linen. An exhale I didn't know I was holding left me in a rush. Thank God, she's safe. Carefully, I reached out and brushed a stray strand of hair from her cheek. Her skin was cool. Her eyes, they were swollen, puffy. She'd been crying. A hard knot formed in my throat. Cried for me? The thought was a strange, painful balm. I hate seeing her cry. My gaze shifted to the small table, a tray with a covered bowl and untouched bread. Poplin's work. She hadn't eaten. She'd just stayed, watched. I just stared at her, this woman who had raced into a battlefield on a fool's errand, who had faced down Gavrel's wrath, who had wept by this bed. She was worried, for me, the monster. My thumb stroked her temple. My little rabbit. Mine. The thought was primal, possessive, and utterly certain. She stirred. Her eyelids fluttered, then opened. For a second, she was soft with sleep. Then she froze. Her eyes widened, taking me in. "Oh my God," she breathed. "You're awake." A laugh burst from her, a sound of pure, unvarnished relief. Her hand flew to my neck. "Your fever is down. Thank God." I couldn't help it. I smiled. She looked so happy to see me. Then the happiness crumpled. Her expression shut down, the memory of everything crashing back in. She pulled her hand back as if burned. "Oh, you should take this medicine. She stopped herself, flinching. "No, I shouldn't. I don't have the right." Suddenly she scrambled off the chair and dropped into a deep bow, her forehead nearly touching her knee. "I'm sorry," she began, the words a frantic, miserable torrent. "I'm sorry for spying on you all this while. I betrayed you. I deserve every punishment. I was wrong. Shit. I knew this would happen. I knew the guilt would eat her alive. She had every right to feel it, but seeing her like this, bowing, begging, it made me feel like the monster again. I hated it. "I promise I'll just leave immediately," she stated. Before she could say another word again of self-flagellation, I moved. Ignoring the scream of pain in my side, I pushed up and reached for her. My hand closed around her wrist. "Leave?" My voice was a rough scrape. Who said anything about leaving? I pulled. She was off balance, and she stumbled forward, catching herself on the edge of the bed. I didn't let go. "You'll never leave me, Ilara.
I said, locking my eyes with her shocked, tear-filled ones. The words were a vow, a command, a truth carved into my bones. You're mine.
You're mine! The words registered, but they made no sense. They were the opposite of sense. I had betrayed him. I had caused this. He should be furious, disgusted. He should be throwing me out, not pulling me closer. No, I said, trying to tug my wrist back. His grip was an iron band, weakened by injury, but unbreakable in its intent. I betrayed you. You should be angry. You should throw me away. And I knew from the beginning, he said sharply, his gaze never wavering. I know that, but it still flashed before me in a new, horrifying light. And you were still nice to me? The question was a wounded whisper. Or was all that an act, knowing I was a spy? Were you just enjoying the fun? His face tightened, a flash of real pain crossing his features. No, he said, the word sharp, final. I would never hurt you, Ilara, or act around you for fun. If I wanted to play games, I could have just locked you in a tower and been done with it. He took a ragged breath, his thumb moving in a slow, unconscious stroke over my wrist. His voice dropped, quiet but intense, filling the space between us. And you didn't betray me, Ilara. He shook his head slowly. You didn't take the documents to him. He said it like it was a simple, monumental fact, as if my failure to complete the act of betrayal was the same as loyalty, as if my last-minute hesitation in his study counted for more than all the weeks of deception that came before. He was looking at me not with anger, but with a weary, unwavering certainty. He was holding my wrist.
Chapter 20.
So you knew everything? I asked, the tears falling harder now, a flood of relief and shame. Yes, he said, his voice a low rumble. And you're not going to punish me or let me go? Never, he whispered, the word a vow etched in stone. Why? I begged, needing to understand the chasm between what I deserved and what he was giving. I have to know why, if I'm the only one feeling this, or is this just his kindness and my foolish heart is because I love you. The world stopped. He said it quietly, plainly, as if stating the color of the sky. I froze, my breath caught somewhere between my heart and my throat. He looked away, a faint flush creeping up his neck. This is not how I was planning to tell you, but I love you, Ilara. I have loved you since the lake, I cut in, the final puzzle piece snapping into place with an almost audible click. My voice was a breath of awe. You are him, the boy by the lake, with the flute. I shifted back slightly, looking at him, truly seeing him differently. You are Vil. It wasn't a question. His face fell, a shadow of the old pain crossing his features. Then he nodded. Yes. Oh my God! The breath rushed out of me. How? I thought you disappeared. I looked for you after. You were right beside me all this time. I'm sorry for lying, he said, his gaze dropping. But I had my reasons. He took a deep, weary breath, as if steeling himself to lift a weight he'd carried alone for decades. I guess you have to know it all now. He began, his voice steady but distant, as if reciting a tragic history about someone else. My mother was in a relationship with the late emperor, my father, though she didn't know he was the emperor when they met. She just offered a stranger water on a hot day, and he kept coming back. A ghost of a smile touched his eyes, gone in an instant. They were in love, according to her stories, but then she found out that he was the emperor. She'd always hated the royal family. They'd accused her father, my grandfather, of treason and ruined them. She confronted him and she ran, but she was already pregnant with me. He paused, his jaw tightening. I squeezed his hand, an anchor in the storm of his past. She kept me. raised me with her sister and brother-in-law, Gavril's family. My identity was hidden. If anyone looked at me, they'd know I was the Emperor's son because of this hair, these eyes. But she couldn't take the chance, so I grew up painted. My golden hair was always dyed black. He gave a soft, joyless chuckle, his eyes far away. She tried so hard to protect me. My heart ached for the boy he'd been. I moved closer without thinking, my other hand coming up to touch his arm. "She died in the fire?" I asked gently. He clenched his fist, the muscles in his forearm corded. "Yes. Later, the Emperor found us, wanted to bring us to the palace, give us protection. My mother refused. By then, he was already married to the late Empress, and that witch found out about us. She set the fire that killed my mother and Gavril's family. When Gavril and I got back from the woods, we saw the house burning down. We tried, Alara. We tried to get them out, but it was too late. The image was horrifying. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry." My own voice trembling. "Is that how you got the scar?" I whispered, my eyes drifting to the edge of his mask. He shook his head slowly. The air in the room grew heavier. "Yes, I tried to save her. I thought I could." I gasped. "Oh, my!" "The Empress intended to eliminate me when I was first taken to the palace," he said, the word flat. "The Emperor protected me, claimed me as his son, but that didn't stop her from trying to ruin the life he'd forced on me." He took a shaky breath. A cry tore from my throat. Without thought, I threw my arms around him, burying my face against his shoulder, crying for the child who'd endured such evil. "Oh, Val, I'm so sorry. You went through hell." He stiffened for a second, then his arms came around me, one hand stroking my back. "It's all right now," he murmured, though it clearly wasn't. "She's gone." I flinched in his arms, a new, darker question forming. I pulled back just enough to see his eyes. "Val, did you kill her? And the Emperor?" He shook his head, his expression grim but honest. "The Emperor died of an unknown illness, but I know she killed him. After he was gone, she took full control and sent me to the battlefield, hoping I'd die." How evil must a person be? I thought, trembling. I remembered the late Empress, a cold, beautiful statue of a woman I'd seen a handful of times while trailing after Ronan. She never spoke to me. I thought I was beneath her notice. A new, chilling realization dawned. "They knew you knew me," I whispered. "Ronan and his mother, at the lake. Did they threaten you because of me?" The final piece of the 8-year lie settled into place, and with it a white-hot rage for him, for me, for all the stolen years began to burn away my last shred of doubt.
Chapter 21. I shook my head. They knew, but after the lake incident, I guess it wasn't a problem for them since you were already following Ronan everywhere. She stood up abruptly, her hands coming to her temples. Wait, this is too much. She stared at me, her gray eyes wide with dawning horror. You knew about the lake incident? I looked at her, confused. You don't remember? Remember what? That Ronan saved me? No, I said, the word quiet but absolute. I saved you, Ilara. She froze, her lips parted. I saw the memory flicker behind her eyes, struggling against the lie that had been cemented for 8 years. Wait, she breathed. In the water, swimming towards me, was golden hair. Her gaze locked on my hair, then shot back to my eyes. It was you. You saved me? But we met twice before. Every time I came after that, you weren't there. I'm sorry, I whispered, the old shame a bitter taste. I came. I watched you from the tree line every time, but I couldn't show my face to you, not after. She moved closer to me. No, that's not my point. What I'm trying to say is, I received a letter.
to meet you by the lake. I was so excited, but I guess I slipped and fell in. When I woke up, I saw Ronan."
A cold dread settled in my gut. I didn't send you any letter. The pieces clicked into a vile picture, a trap. I did pull you out. I got you breathing. I took you home. But then I saw you following him after, smiling at him. So I thought it was better. I thought you'd prefer the Golden Prince to... I gestured vaguely at my face, the mask, all of it. I wouldn't want to be friends with someone with a scar anyway.
"No."
Her voice was firm. She cupped my face in her hands, forcing me to look at her. Tears were streaming down her cheeks, but her gaze was fierce.
"You don't dare say that. I know I was stupid. I followed a lie because I was a child who thought she owed her heart to her savior. But it was always you, Val. You've been there since the very beginning."
She took a shuddering breath, her thumb stroking my mask.
"I love you, Val. I don't know when or how it started, but I don't care if Ronan saved me or not. I might have once had a crush on a beautiful boy by the lake who was you, but I love you now, the man you are. Mask or no mask, scar or no scar, your kind heart, your patience, your strength. I love everything about you."
My world tilted. The words were a balm and a brand, healing and searing at once. My eyes stung. You do?"
"Yes,"
she said, nodding, a watery smile breaking through.
"So, can I? Can I take it off? I want to see you, all of you."
I hesitated. The mask was more than leather. It was a wall, a shield, my identity as the monster the world saw. Letting it fall felt like standing open before a firing squad. But her eyes held no fear, only a patient, aching hope. Slowly, my hands trembling slightly, I reached up. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drum. What if she runs away after seeing the monster I am? I hesitated, but the mask came away. I couldn't look at her. I stared down at the cursed thing in my hands, bracing for the gasp, the recoil, the confirmation that the monster was real.
My breath caught. He flinched. "Oh," I breathed, the sound full of wonder, not horror. "Val, he looked so beautiful." I shook my head as if word failed me. So good-looking.
Chapter 22.
I risked a glance. She wasn't looking at me with pity or disgust. She was looking at me like I was the sunrise after a long night. I had to be dreaming. "Sorry," I mumbled, starting to turn away. "I scared you. I can put it..." She didn't let me finish. She leaned in and pressed her lips, soft and warm, directly to the worst of the scars, the twisted, shiny skin that ran from my temple to my jaw. I froze, every nerve ending alight. She perked it again. "You look so breathtaking," she whispered against my skin, her own tears wetting my cheek. "I haven't seen anyone as beautiful as you, Val." Tears, hot and shameful, welled in my own eyes and spilled over. I'd forgotten how to cry. "You're sure?" My voice was a broken thing. "You don't find me a monster?" In answer, she met the tears from my cheeks. "No," she murmured between kisses. "No, whoever says you are a monster are the monster." I couldn't wait another second. I pulled her to me and crushed my mouth to hers. It wasn't gentle. It was desperate, hungry, the kind of a starving man finally offered a feast. It was 8 years of silence, of longing, of watching from the shadows, poured into a single searing connection. She made a soft sound of surprise, then melted against me. Her hands came up to tangle in my hair. I drank her in. The taste of her, the sigh she gave, the way she yielded and then met me with a fire of her own. I felt her try to pull back slightly,
her hands pressing gently against my chest, mindful of my wound. The concern almost undid me. Instead of letting her go, I pulled her closer, deepening it, ignoring the protest of my ribs. I needed her to feel this, to know that this was everything. When we finally broke apart, we were both panting, foreheads resting together. "You don't know," I gasped, my voice ragged with emotion. "How long I've wanted to do this, Ilara."
Chapter 22. Ilara. He pulled me closer, laying me gently on the bed. I tried to be mindful of his injury, not to open the stitches, but he wasn't having any of it. We stayed like that, entangled in each other long into the night. It wasn't just passion, it was a reclaiming. Every touch, every sigh was a silent promise. You are mine. I am yours. This is real. The next day, I woke to the distant sound of swords clashing in the training yard. Midday sun streamed through the window. For a blissful moment, I thought it was all a dream, a beautiful dream I never wanted to leave. I turned my head. My husband, the man they called a monster, was asleep beside me. In the soft light, with his face bare and peaceful, he looked like an angel, breathtaking. Then the memories rushed back, not as a nightmare, but as a cold, clarifying tide. The lies, the lake, the fire, the poker, what they did to him, the systematic destruction of a good boy to make way for a golden liar. Ronan, he needed to pay for all of it. A quiet, steel-cold resolve settled in my chest. I'll make him pay. A hand snaked around my waist and pulled me firmly back against a warm, solid chest. "And what are you thinking about with that face?" His sleep-rough voice murmured in my ear. I smiled, though he couldn't see it. "Maybe how to end your brother." He chuckled, the vibration rumbling through me. I turned in his arms to face him. For the first time, I was seeing his face in the clear light of day, relaxed and smiling. I'd been too overwhelmed last night to truly study it. The way his mouth curved, the slight crinkles by his eyes, the expressions that played across features that were strong and, yes, still heartbreakingly handsome despite the scars. I blushed. He tilted his head. "Ah, you're all red?" "No, I'm not," I protested, trying to sit up. He pushed me back down with playful ease. "Ah, you can't pull me like that. Watch your injury," I said, genuinely worried. He wrapped his arm more. "Well, you didn't think about that last night." He grinned, a real, wicked, glorious grin. I stammered, my face flaming. He laughed, a rich, free sound I wanted to bottle and keep forever. "Stop it!" I hit his chest lightly and tried to rise again. He pulled me back, his smile softening into something tender and pleading. "Don't go. Let's just stay like this." "No, we need to get up. You have to eat and take your medicine." "But I'm okay now," he argued, nuzzling my neck. "It's nothing, and you already know that." I blushed furiously. "Stop that." "Fine, just cuddling." "Really?" he asked, his voice a low purr as he tilted. "Yes." But he was already claiming my mouth again. And that, more or less, is how we spent the day, in his chamber. Mrs. Poplin brought dinner, and breakfast the next day, and dinner again after that. After a day, I eventually managed to pull him out of bed, citing his duty to his territory and the very real, looming threat of Ronan. He protested, claiming he hadn't fully healed, a flimsy excuse from a man who had, for the past 2 days, demonstrated a truly impressive and concerning disregard for his own stitches. I wouldn't fall for it, because as perfect as everything felt, a cold dread whispered that it couldn't last. Someone wanted him gone, and to keep him, my family, and everyone safe, I had to do the right thing, the hard thing.
Chapter 23.
The next 2 days passed in a blur of stolen moments and grim planning. Then,
The peace shattered. The great hall doors crashed open. Royal guards stormed in with their polished armor. One stood holding a scroll aloft like a weapon. My heart turned to ice. "Prince Valerius of Blackwood," he announced, his voice dripping with false regret. "By order of the crown, you are hereby charged with high treason, conspiracy against the throne, and inciting rebellion, with evidence, of course." Then Ronan strode in, flanked by a full contingent. He was grinning so widely. I couldn't look at Val. My eyes stayed fixed on the stone floor, hot tears of performance and very real agony welling up. I let my shoulders shake. I'm so sorry." Ronan laughed, a sharp, triumphant sound. "I knew it! You were after my throne all along, brother, acting all high and mighty, playing the stoic lord." He walked over to me and slid a possessive arm around my waist. I stiffened. "I knew you won't disappoint me, my love. But you did delay," Ronan confided to the room, as if sharing a juicy secret. "Needed a little push, I suppose, but in the end, she saw the monster you truly are." He smiled, walking over to Val. "I don't even know how you're still alive after all my attentions. But guess who's laughing now?" He squeezed me. "Me." Val's face was a mask of stony betrayal. The look in his eyes, a mix of shock, anger, and heartbreak, was so convincing it made my own breath catch. He said nothing. "Not going to say a word, brother?" Ronan moved closer to him. "Well then, let's show everybody the beast you are." Then he took Val's mask off. A sound of pure anguish tore from my throat before I could stop it. Val only grunted. Ronan just laughed harder. "Good! After presenting all evidence to the High Council tomorrow, you will be executed. Take him away," he commanded the guards. As they dragged Val to his feet, he finally looked at me. His gaze held for a fraction of a second. It was anger, but not blame. I turned away. Then he was gone. Ronan turned, his expression shifting to oily satisfaction. "I don't want to stay in this drafty ruin a moment longer. Make sure all his knights are brought into custody as well," he ordered his captain. Then he focused on me. He cupped my cheek. His touch made my skin crawl. "You did well, Ilara. Better late than never." He leaned closer, his voice a conspiratorial whisper that smelled of mint and deceit. "I should reward you. How about a grand wedding, my little spy? A real one, this time, for a real king." The day of the court hearing dawned, cold and gray. I stood in the echoing great hall of the judgment hall, not as a lady or a sister, but as a witness. Against my own husband. The tears threatened, hot and genuine, but I forced them back. I looked at him, kneeling in the center of the room. He looked tired, defeated, his head bowed. Did they hurt him? The fear was a sharp blade in my gut. Ronan stood before the High Council, a picture of regal grief. "As you all know," he began, his voice thick with false sorrow, "my beloved brother returned from the battlefield months ago. I was overjoyed to have him home after so long. I did not know, I did not dream that he was planning to eliminate me to take the throne." A ripple of gasps went through the assembled lords and ladies. "Yes," Ronan sighed, shaking his head. "But fortunately, Lady Ilara, my brave, loyal Ilara, saved me. She saved the throne. She uncovered and sent evidence of his treason, and I present it now to this court." He gestured, and a lackey scurried forward with a stack of documents. "A most unfortunate affair, Your Majesty." "Thank you," the judge intoned. "We now move to the witness. Lady Ilara, do you swear that all evidence provided here by you are real and not fabricated?" "Yes, my lord," I said, my voice clear in the silent hall. "Do you have anything else to testify?" "Yes." I paused, letting the word hang. "I have another witness to confuse to this crime, for his acts." Ronan turned, a flicker of confusion in his eyes. I smiled at him and mouthed, "A surprise." He relaxed, smiling back and leaning in his throne, expecting a final, crushing blow against Valerius. The great hall doors groaned open. 2 knights in unfamiliar livery escorted a man inside. The murmurs turned into shouts of shock. It was King Pharon of Valene, the defected ruler of the neighboring kingdom we had been at war with for 8 bloody years. The judge was stunned. Are the document real?" "Yes, my lord," King Pharon said, his voice grave. "King Ronan has been conspiring with my military advisors to prolong the war against this kingdom. He and the late empress paid his predecessors handsomely to keep the conflict active for 8 years. I continue, my voice loud. They starve our people and wasting our young men, all to keep the true crown prince away from the capital and discredit his name. The hall erupts in chaos. Ronan's face went from smug to ashen. What is the meaning of this? It's all a lie, a treasonous lie. "Please be seated, Your Majesty," the judge said sharply, his eyes wide as he scanned the new documents now being placed before him. I continued, my voice growing stronger. "All for what? To keep the prince away. You mean the crown prince." The judge held up a yellowed parchment sealed with the late emperor's unmistakable crest. This is a will, hidden from this council. It states that the crown prince Valerius is to succeed upon the late emperor's death. I allowed myself a small, cold smirk. Valerius, for the first time, lifted his head and met my eyes, a ghost of a smile on his lips. "Of course, I have witnesses to its authenticity," I said, "the late emperor's personal scribe and his chambermaid." Gavril stepped forward, escorting 2 elderly, trembling figures Ronan's mother had exiled years ago. Their testimonies, halting and terrified, confirmed everything. The hall was in an uproar. I smiled then, listed the rest. The documents detailing his embezzlement, his harsh and unjust laws, the whispers of young serving girls dismissed or disappeared after catching his eye. The mountain of evidence was no longer against Valerius, but against the man on the throne. "Thank you," I said finally to the judge. Ronan exploded. "This is nonsense. None of it is true. These 2 have conspired against me." Valerius finally spoke, his voice cutting through the chaos like a cold wind. "Then let the evidence speak, brother, and let the people you've starved and betrayed be your judge." The council convened in a frantic huddle. The verdict, when it came, was swift. Given the overwhelming evidence of conspiracy, treason against the realm's welfare, fraud, and moral corruption, King Ronan is hereby stripped of his title and authority. He will be held for sentencing. The last verdict will be passed by the new emperor. "No!" Ronan shrieked, the sound raw and animal. "You can't do that. I am the emperor. He is nothing, nothing. Shut up, all of you, shut up." Then he moved. In a flash of desperate madness, he drew a hidden dagger from his sleeve and lunged, not at Valerius, but at me. "How dare you!" I heard Val's roar of pure terror. "Ilara!" Val and Gavril surged forward, but Ronan was fueled by hate and closer. As he thrust the blade towards my heart, I didn't flinch. My body moved on an instinct I didn't know I had. I drove my fist straight into his nose with a sickening crunch. He fell to the marble with a cry, clutching his bleeding face. I looked down at him, my breathing steady. "You never did know how to use one of those, or your fists. Did you forget?" I stepped over him as if he were rubbish. "Enjoy your days in hell, Ronan." He looked up at me, his eyes swimming with pain and utter disbelief. "Ilara, you can't do this. I'll forgive you. Just tell them it's all a lie. You know I love you. You don't want to spend your life with that monster." Valerius was already at my side, the ropes forgotten, his hands cupping my face. "Are you okay? Did he hurt you?" No, I said, never taking my eyes off him. Then I turned to Ronan. Yes, I will spend my life with him. I leaned in and kissed Valerius, deeply, in front of the entire stunned court. My monster. As the guards finally seized a screaming, weeping Ronan and dragged him away, I smiled up at Val. I did well, right? Yes, my love, he murmured, his forehead against mine. Very well. I thought you might leave me for that fool. I was ready to end him right here. I laughed, the sound light and free. I would never. He laughed with me, the sound rich and full of a future. Gavril walked over, clapping Val on the back, a grudging respect in his eyes as he nodded to me. The plan had begun 3 days ago, after we'd forged our real alliance. Val had told me what to do. I'd been against him getting hurt, but he'd assured me it was the only way to make Ronan overconfident. Pretending that day in the keep had been the hardest thing I'd ever done. Seeing Ronan's face so close, I'd wanted to slit his throat, but that would have ruined everything. Gavril and George had been in charge of the dangerous secret work, extracting the exiled scribe and maid from their hiding places and smuggling King Theron into the capital. Thank the gods, Ronan, in his arrogance, never noticed the pieces moving against him. Now, as the council bowed their heads to Valerius, the true emperor, and of course I was right beside him through it all, everything was finally, perfectly as it should be.
Chapter 24.
Epilogue, 3 years later. Footsteps, too fast and too light to be a guard's, echoed down the sun-drenched palace corridor. A voice, breathless with excitement, followed. "Sister! Sister!" I stirred in the warm circle of Val's arms, burying my face against his chest. It's too early. What is that noise? The door to our chambers flew open. Val and I jolted upright at the same time, a shared instinctive tension from years of living with threats, both real and remembered, coiling in our muscles. In the doorway stood Finn, nearly as tall as my shoulder now, and Lyra, who was carefully holding a wriggling bundle in her arms. "Sister," Lyra announced, her eyes wide. "Uncle Val," Finn chimed in, grinning. The bundle in Lyra's arms cooed. Beatrice, our daughter, 16 months old, with a head of riotous golden curls exactly like her father's, and serious storm-gray eyes that were all mine. She was, objectively, the most beautiful creature in the world. We relaxed in unison, the tension melting into fond exasperation. Val ran a hand through his sleep-mussed hair, the scars on his face crinkling with the ghost of a smile. Lyra marched forward. "Look, Beatrice said her first word." "Really?" I said, my heart squeezing as I reached out to take my daughter. She came to me with a happy gurgle, smelling of milk and baby soap. Val moved closer, his sleep-rough voice soft. "Really? What did my little star say?" He brushed a curl from her forehead. Beatrice, her daddy's girl from her first breath, laughed and waved a chubby fist towards him. "Come on, Bea," Lyra coached, bouncing on her toes. "Say it!" Beatrice looked past us, her gray eyes lighting up. She pointed a determined finger. "Uncool," she babbled. Then, with more focus, "Garvel." We froze. Our heads swiveled to the door. Gavril stood there, the picture of awkwardness, the stuffed rabbit dangling from one hand. A faint, undeniable blush crept up his neck. "Good morning, your majesties," he muttered, refusing to meet anyone's eyes. Beatrice beamed at the sound of his voice. "Uncle," she declared, louder and clearer. "Uncle, uncle, uncle." The room erupted in laughter. Val's was a deep, joyful rumble. Mine was light and free. Finn howled and Lyra clapped her hands. "Well," Val said, grinning as he took Beatrice from me and settled her on his hip. She immediately tucked her head under his chin. "It seems Uncle Gavril has been secretly winning our daughter's favor, more than her own parents, apparently." I leaned into Val's side, watching as Gavril, the grumpiest, most loyal man in the Empire, softened completely under the giggling attention of a baby. This was my life now, not the gilded cage I'd been born into, nor the grim fortress I'd been exiled to. It was something I'd only ever read about in the fairy tales I'd loved as a girl. A kingdom at peace, a family forged from love and loyalty, and a man who had turned out to be both the hero of the lake and the king of my heart. Val still carried the weight of the Empire with a steady, just hand, but he also built block towers with Finn, debated history with Lyra, and let Mrs. Poplin scold him for working too late. He came home to us every night, his mask a forgotten relic of a painful past, his smiles freely given. He spent his evenings with our daughter asleep on his chest, her golden hair fanned out over the scars he no longer hid. And he spent his nights holding me, not as a trophy or a spy, but as his wife, his partner, his home. And of course, I got my own beautiful private lab to study more about the things I love. This life, I dreamed of a fairy tale as a child. I just never knew I'd have to walk through fire, unravel a kingdom's worth of lies, and learn to see a monster as a man to get it. But the boy from the lake, the prince behind the mask, had made every single dream come true.
Thanks for watching. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe and join my membership to get update on my new stories.